I want to thank our youth for serving us today. They always do a great job, and we are so appreciative of their participation in our liturgy. So I have a question for them. It's really for all of you. If there were a fight between Superman and Mighty Mouse, which would win? Well, the answer is Superman, because Mighty Mouse is just a cartoon character. When I was growing up, there were just these two of these superheroes, right? Now, there's many. And I remember last year, as the kids in our school were writing essays. You know, which superpower would you want, and how would you use it? Right? Kind of tempting, isn't it? Right? To want all that power. And there are many of these epic stories, and woven into many of them is the Christian message. We have, in fact, a superhero in our gospel this morning, and his ability, his power, is to make a stone become bread. That'd be good, huh? You could feed the world, right? Or you could sell all that bread, make a lot of money. Which would you choose? These stories reveal to us always a choice that must be made. If you have the force with you, you can use it to serve, or you can go over to the dark side, right? Which do you choose? And the temptations are strong. There were two scenes in some of these movies that just really have, I think, meaning here. One of them, if you saw the Lord of the Rings, and if you remember Frodo with that ring and the temptation of all of its power, it was just drawing him. There was a force there, right? And yet he resisted. Or the other one, the image, if you're a Superman fan like me, if you remember when General Zod, remember he was kind of the counterpart, had those same powers, and he said to Superman, "Kneel before me," right? Does that sound like the devil in our gospel today? Right? All of these temptations really can be seen in those movies, right? The temptation for fame, for power, for being worshipped, and all those things, for controlling of others. So many temptations. So maybe the question for us this morning is, what do you do with your superpowers? Now think about it. Thinking. That's a superpower, right? The animals can't do that, right? What else is superpower? You can work and earn money, right? And with that money, great power, right? You can go out and buy any car you want. You can drive it as fast as you want. That's power, right? Or you can read. You can read a book. The animals can't do that, right? You don't spend all day trying to search for food like the animals do. You have time to ponder, to meditate, to pray. You have time to be here. That's a superpower that you have. But you have a choice. Always the choice. How will you use your powers? Will you pursue what is good? Or will you go over to the dark side? Will you serve yourself? Will you use what you have, life itself, for self? Which will it be? In our story this morning, Jesus is faced with those same temptations. Which would he choose? He would have all the power he needed. He's the Son of God and the Savior of the world. Would he force people to kneel before him? Would he make people to serve himself? Would he use it for fame? Not. He rejected those temptations completely, all the way to the cross, giving his whole self. What do we choose? Do we say, well, it's my money, it's my power, my things, my car, my gun, my life, my body? Or do we say, I am here as a servant of God. I give my all in service to God. Those are the basic two choices that we have before us. And the temptation, which do we choose? In the center of Lent, really in the center of the Christian life, is always the cross. And it represents giving away. It really is a sign of the only real superpower, and that is the love of God. There's only one. Do we live for ourselves, or do I live for God? In gratitude for all of these many superpowers He has given to me.